example, I had this one family that had moved from the Ukraine. This chick was tough as nails. And she was just doing kind of dumb things. So one day she came into the office and she was sobbing. I couldn't console her. I'm like, what happened? Did you get arrested? Did you lose somebody? And all I got out of her was, my mama found out.
Okay.
And Zoe, I almost started laughing, but I couldn't laugh because I'm the counselor.
Right.
Because I'm like, honey, there are things all of us never tell our parents.
True. So true. Some things we hope that our mother finds out.
She got caught red-handed, and to her world was imploding. You know, her mother was seeing her differently now, and we had to work through that. But I went home that night and wrote a song called Don't Tell Mama and that was on my album Heart and Soul, which won Album of the Year from ISA. Yeah. So it was kind of the lead track on that. So, and that came from a counseling experience. It was my experience, but it was, from this girl I was working with,
Absolutely. And inspiration just comes from sometimes the most unexpected places. I have an outline for a book I've got actually the outline of the story, but a book I intend to write. They did come from my day job. And sometimes it works out that way. I mean, someone has a conversation with you and you're like, oh, that'd be a great storyline. Let me jot down this idea and let me do this. In your case, it's the music world. But yeah.
Right. That's why we have lyrics all over the place, on our phones, on slips of paper, all over the place.
Exactly. I was speaking with another music artist a day or two ago, and I was telling him about my thoughts about kind of how inspiration is almost like an ecosystem where, like the rain system, he just wasn't quite following my train of thought, and maybe I didn't explain myself well, but, I think about inspiration like, really like that ecosystem. Someone paints a picture and it might inspire someone else to write a song, and someone else's song might have the lyrics that might inspire someone else to write a book, and so on and so forth. And it just feeds off of each other. I didn't explain it nearly that well in my session with him as I did just now.
It's also, okay, people go through similar incidents, right? Yeah. Or even siblings are in the same house.
Yes.
But their perspectives are always different.
True.
Right? So you take an incident and you take a little moment in time and you write about it and you embellish it. You write a hook around it, yes. And you kind of make it your own moment, but again, that moment was different for someone else.
Right. True. And I think that's what I really like. The more I talk to other writers, the more I talk to musicians, the spirit of competition, even though there's maybe some friendly competition, the spirit of competition in what we do isn't like it is in other industries and other jobs. We are there to help each other, to even work with each other, because even though what we do is similar, the same job essentially, one musician does might write the same type of Americana, another person does Americana. You have completely divergent viewpoints on songs. So you're not directly in competition necessarily. And it makes such a nice environment to work in.
It does, because the definition of competition is a race only one person can win. Yeah. That's not music. No. They're going to listen to me. They can listen to you. They can listen to all my friends. They can like none of us. That's not a competition.
Right.
That's why we have to support each other, because it's up to our fans and the people listening to find out what they resonate with. And if they don't resonate with me, I have my friend over here. I want you to connect and enjoy that experience.
Exactly. And same thing with the writers. What story appeals to my friend over here may not appeal to this friend over here. And my book might appeal to that person, but not to that person. And yeah, it's just about finding the right audience at the right time.
Right. So it's so true.
Yeah. I love that about what we do. I just wish everyone could have that sense of accomplishment and that sense of, this is what I do and I'm happy with it, without the added stress of, oh, I'm competing against you, because who needs it?
Right. I agree with that.